Hello. I wanted to share a quick little story about how when I was first coming to South Florida, this was back in like 2009. I remember the place I was at did not have any heat. And so, of course, it had air conditioner, like AC wall units. And so when it got really cold in the wintertime, I luckily had the opportunity to be able to go to my parents' house at the time. And so I'm feeling a lot of compassion for the people out there that live in Florida who do not have the resources of heat. And we are about ready to go into record temperatures, like they're saying in the low 30s. So I am sending out love, warmth, and understanding. And so I'm actually planning on donating some clothes and some things I've just been wanting to donate anyways. However, just showing compassion for the fact that we all go through things in life where we don't have things at times. And I think one of the really beautiful parts about learning from our scarcity is also being able to have compassion and empathy for those also who are struggling. So I just want to share that story because I'm looking at the temperatures and it brought me back into that memory of what I went through at that time. And I remember like shivering in my place. And I had a couple of my friends from Philly at the time with me, and they were like, we're so cold, like we can't even take a shower because it's so cold and so cold in here. And then we ended up just going over to my parents' place as an option, and some people do not have that option. So I know that I saw recently that there's going to be local shelters to help the homeless because the homeless numbers have gone up extremely in the past like year, 2 years, and then some. So I'm just sending out some compassion and understanding. And I just remember sitting there and I had like a little space heater that was like barely doing anything. And I was like all curled up next to it. So yeah, Florida's not used to these types of weather events. And also the iguanas that are going to freeze. And I know that they're okay, quote unquote, an invasive species, but they are a living thing. And unfortunately, some people can be violent with things, so they freeze, but although they're frozen, they can't move. They still, once the temperature gets warmer again, will have the ability to get up and be perfectly fine. But unfortunately, some people take advantage of that and can be harmful. And then to all the other wildlife, just like things out there that are not used to this type of these weather conditions. We're used to warm weather here in Florida. So I'm just sending out some love. And I know that may sound really trivial in the times that we live in, because it's just like, and I get it. There's a lot of shit happening. There's always been a lot of shit happening. Is it worse right now? Yeah, to a degree, of course. But we can always find that ability to take a step back and to remember our origins. Like, at one point in your life, you struggled or you went through a hardship. We're not perfect beings here. So it's just like, have some respect and the understanding of knowing that you never know what somebody else is going through. And a lot of people will put on a show and a front just to act like everything's fine. At the end of the day, if you really were to sit down and ask them a question like, how are they doing? And listen without judgment, I'm sure that you would be given a different type of story that maybe you just, instead of judging them, you would have come to realize, well, shit, maybe I shouldn't be so rude and cruel. So take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.